Day, everybody, and welcome to DocTalk Q&A. I'm Dr. Darrell Wolfe, and what we're going to do today is we're going to take our power back, and we're also going to learn, or at least start to learn, how to stop giving it away, okay? That's the biggest thing. What are you going to do? Take it back, give it away. Take it back, give it away. Do you ever notice what people do? Go on a diet, go off a diet. Do a cleanse, go eat terrible. Do exercise for a while, then go eat terrible. You know what? We have a hard time being disciplined, okay? Because the world tries to distract us, and that's called attack us, to not stay on course. Because you have to understand something, that the major corporations in the world that have the most money are not selling anything or doing anything that is in the vibration of well-being. Did you hear what I just said? Go check it out. Go check out the 6 top corporations in the world are doing things that are actually undermining the human potential, undermining the human immune system, and they're actually poisoning us. Isn't that something? All right. And they're actually getting away with it because there's nobody minding the chicken house, right? And that would be the government. They stopped doing that a long time ago. Okay. I'm not even sure if they ever really did do it, to be honest with you. And that's the truth of the fact. So I want you all to understand something, that you're all beautiful souls. You're all unique. There'll never be another one of you. And I want you to ask yourself one question today. Why wouldn't you want to take your total power back? Why wouldn't you want to totally forgive yourself for everything you've ever done or ever going to do? And why wouldn't you want to totally love yourself? Because guess what? Unless you're going to do that, you'll never totally heal yourself. You won't. And that's why society teaches you that self-love is a naughty, naughty thing. Okay? You can fill your heart up with love from everybody else, but guess what? That's only temporary. If that person decides to leave the planet, decides to leave your house, decides to leave your life, where's that going to leave you if you have an empty heart? Because if you have an empty heart, you're going to be torn apart. Oh, wait a minute. Isn't that why there's so much heart disease in the world and so much cancer? Absolutely, Dr. Wolfe. You're absolutely right. So when we really, truly learn how to honor, respect, and protect ourselves and hold the loving line, then we will uncover our true potential and the practitioner that lies inside of us to help to guide us, to teach us. You know, you have to become the answer you seek, okay? I'm not your answer. I've got some things that I know, but I'm not your answer. You know, you must become the master of your mind to be the master of your body. So we're going to get into some questions here today, but before we do, I just want everybody to know that I will be in Melbourne, Florida, which is about 40 minutes outside of Orlando, on March the 7th, and I will be doing 2 lectures. One is called Mind Over Medicine at 11:40 a.m., and the other one is called Cancer and Inflammation Scar Tissue Issue at 4:30. Both of these lectures will be 2 hours long. There's other lecturers there. It's about $97 for the day. And if you want, you can visit our Facebook or call our office for more information. I'll also be attending the Legends of Health conference in Markham, Ontario, and I will be delivering 4 comprehensive lectures. On Thursday, it's a full day from 9 until 5, and it's called How to Thrive and Stay Alive on Planet Earth. I guarantee that I will give you more to think about than you've ever thought about. I will give you more laughs, because you've got to laugh at yourself sometimes and this planet, how ridiculous it is. And that will be going from 9 a.m. till 5 p.m. And then on Friday, I will be doing Inflammation to Cancer, a Scar Tissue Issue, where in 2 hours, I will be showing and demonstrating live me pulling fibroids apart, tumors apart, reversing a knee problem, a shoulder problem, a neck problem, somebody with a hearing problem, because it's a scar tissue issue. From 2 to 4. And on Saturday, Mind Over Medicine from 8 until 9. I think the title speaks for itself. And then Creating the Perfect Day from 11 a.m. until 12 noon on Sunday. And I'll also be on a panel on that Sunday. I'll be in Markham, Ontario. Okay, so if you want to get tickets, I have 60 tickets that will be $97, and they're regularly $197. So 60 tickets, and we're taking $100 off, and there you go. And I'd love to see you at the show. Now, one last thing, our April certifications are sold out. They just went that fast, okay? And our July 4th to 24th certifications for the Whole Life Coach and the Wolfe Non-Surgical, we've already got 7 people booked. We only have 8 spots left. I know, isn't it crazy? And our upcoming show this week is a 3-part series that you will not want to miss. I guarantee it. And if you do, you can go to YouTube to watch it. It's called Break from the Herd or Meet the Butcher. And part 1, okay, is New World Practitioner. And then part 2 of that, okay, is called Issues, Tissues, and Tumors. And then part 3 of that is called Surgeries, Implants, and Robots. And let me tell you something. I'm going to give you the information that you wish you had before you had surgery. I'm going to give you the information that you wish you had before you got addicted to your prescription drugs to numb your life out. I'm going to give you the information that you wished you had years ago. I promise you. I really do. Okay. And then on Wednesday, February the 19th at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we have Andrew Wakefield, okay? He's the CDC whistleblower about vaccinations, okay? You don't want to miss this. And then I'll be doing a Q&A with Andrew Wakefield on the Monday following that, all right? So that's it. That's all. Let's go right to it. Okay, first of all, I want to talk about today is, okay, I just got off the phone because I like to keep it real with a lady, and I was just talking to her, told her she wanted to join me on the Q&A, and I said to her, so how can I help you? And she says, well, you know, I've got breast cancer, okay, and I wanted to get the non-surgical therapy, and she was wondering if we ever come down her way or if she has to come up here. And I just told her about that, and then she says, I just went and got tested, and I have PTSD. And I said, well, a lot of people have PTSD. It's basically you've been traumatized severely in a lot of cases, but you're reliving that trauma continually. I said, but you can turn that around. And she said, no, they told me that I'll have this for the rest of my life. Now, this is what's going on there with practitioners out there, from calcification to scar tissue formation to mutation, you name it. There is so much disinformation out there. I mean, I think you forgot who you were created by, God Almighty, okay? And you forgot that you create your life, that you are the creator of your life. You are your life. Anyways, I said, no, that's not true. Post-traumatic syndrome, it can be flipped around. And I said, it's all about mind over matter. It's all about mind over medicine. And if we were to take a look at your day from the minute you wake up until you go to bed on an emotional and physical level, I guarantee you that you have not been feeding your spirit. And the reality is, people that have PTSD, they also have entities in them. Now, what are you going? Entities? What are those? Well, let's understand this, that we have positive habits, we have negative habits. Okay, you have positive beliefs, you have negative beliefs. Whatever you feed gets bigger. Do you not believe that if you feed a negative belief long enough and strong enough that it becomes a live entity and can actually take over your body? Oh my God, she doesn't act like herself anymore. He's not like himself anymore. I don't know why I acted like that. Okay, this is what it is. So what we do is your subconscious is 90% of your brain, so you make up these stories. Oh, like we don't make up stories. I make up stories every day about how I'm a great teacher, how I'm a great trainer, how I'm going to do a great show, how I'm going to be healthy until I'm 100 years old and older. And you make up stories. So whatever stories you tell yourself, they're going to come true. They're definitely going to change your vibration. And I'll tell you something. Everything in history has been tainted. Everything gets twisted and tainted by mankind. Just know that. You know, going and telling her that she's not going to ever turn around her PTSD. Seriously, what kind of practitioner is that? Or telling someone, you know, well, there's nothing we can do for you. You might as well go home, or you're just going to have to take this drug, or you're just going to have to live with this. where do we get this from? Where does this even come from? There is so much misinformation, contamination, and corruption out there that I don't even know where to start anymore. You know, people can say, well, you know, I wish he was softer. Well, you know what? When I'm up against all the advertising and all the BS, the dysfunctional belief systems out there, when we're together for just a few minutes, I have a few minutes to what? To change your mind. I have a few minutes to shock you to a situation you go, oh my God, some light just came on. And that's the reality. So you know what? I'm going to tell you something. You are so precious. And doesn't matter who you are out there. You are so precious. I always say this, you know, there are no bad people, but there are people with bad beliefs. Well, that's obvious. And the reality is I don't have to like them. I don't have to like them, but I'm going to love everybody on this planet because I know that we all came down and said we could play the game. And the only way I'm going to win at this game is if I truly love myself and I truly love everybody else on this planet. But I don't have to like their beliefs. But I'm not going to get into hating anything. And I'm telling you right now that it doesn't matter what type of mental, physical, emotional disorder you have. All right? You can change it. Are you willing to do it? And would your belief systems allow love in? Would your belief systems allow you to care for yourself enough? To be aware enough? That's the reality. Let's go to Carol. And let's see here. Just going to see if we have any questions. Okay, Mr. Wolfe, what is your best way of getting rid of acne scars? Hyperpigmentation. I have some acne scars that are noticeable and have some that are not. Is there any way to shrink pores? Hyperpigmentation is a condition which patches of skin become darker in color than the normal surrounding skin. First of all, Ben, I'm going to tell you something right now. You got to go into the bowels. That's where you got to go because it's a good bacteria issue. You've got to go in there and make sure, get on the daily cleansing tea, get on the tummy love, and start doing the ultimate coffee enema. I mean, you're asking me how to get your skin better. Well, your large intestine is a reflection of your skin, and your skin is a reflection of your large intestine, and your liver does the detoxification of all your blood. And if you clean out the liver, the filter, then guess what? It'll bring up the vibration of healing. Okay? Here, you ready for this? I don't have it here, but you'll see on my websites, believe it or not, we sold out, and that's why I don't have it here. We have what we call Doc of Detox clappers. They're about this long. They're purple. You can go on our website and order them. And I would be doing clapping on my skin, my face, okay, for about 20 minutes every night, especially the area of the scars. And I'm going to show you, and then you're going to think I'm totally insane. But the reality is, if you do this, you're going to increase circulation. You're going to increase stem cell production. You're going to increase the scar tissue to become actually connective tissue, and it's also going to help to shut your pores. And I would also be using, but what I would do first, okay, is I would take a skin brush and I would do skin brushing, okay. This is Dr. Jensen's natural bristle brush, skin brush. They're the best ones. You can take that off. I would skin brush my face, okay. And then I would skin brush my face lightly every day. And I would also do what's called an Epsom salt glow, where you take Epsom salts and put it in a bowl, wet it down to the consistency of sand. That's all you got to do. And then I would take that and then I would scrub my face with it. Let me tell you something. I can show you how you can spend basically pennies a day, and it'll be the best treatment you've ever done, where you could have had to spend thousands to do the same thing. So you can do light skin brushing, do the salt glow. You'll find the skin brushing and the salt glow in the back of my book, Healthy to 100. I don't have one here right now. But maybe we could get one. Okay. Oh, it's back there. Can they see it? Okay. So if you can see the Healthy to 100 book, It's right there in the back of the book. In the beautiful skin section, you'll see the salt glow and you'll see the skin brushing that you can do on your face. And then you want to do the clapping. You know, using your hand, it's a lot more energy, but I'll just show you how to do it. And believe it or not, I'm right. This works. It's thousands of years old, and nobody wants you to have this. You do know that, right? So believe it or not, some people aren't going to do this because it looks like clapping is abusive. But the reality is, start off with patting. No big deal. And you know what? You'll pat a baby to sleep. Oh, that's good. Settle down, babe. Settle down. Or you'll pad them if they're in pain, right? You'll pad them if they're in pain. Pat them if they're in pain. We call this patting. So you pad first, and then you work your way up to clapping. And it's not just going to do that. It's going to also give you a natural facelift, tone up, give you better circulation. It's going to calm your nervous system down, okay? So I will show you a clapper next Monday on the next Q&A. How's that? Because we sold out, believe it or not. We had 40 of them. We just got them in last Wednesday. Okay, so but you'll see them on my website. So check that out. Also using a Bioptron light, check out Bioptron. Bioptron's amazing for skin healing. They use it in about 10,000 different plastic surgery and surgery hospitals in Europe. And it's also used in the Toronto Hospital here in Canada. And they'll use it for plastic surgery, burns, wounds, and skin disorders. All right? And it's Bioptron. You'll find it on my website. And if you want to watch the video, go to my library. And it's called Energy Medicine Guide. Click on that, and you can watch the scientists talking about the Bioptron. There you go. Oh, and you should also use Beyond Beauty, okay? Beyond Beauty Spray. It's amazing for it. And the other thing I would use as a moisturizer and healer for the face is, it's called Beyond Beauty Moisturizer, which is not here. Maybe you can make a note of these things, okay? So that we can have that here next time and I can show it. So Beyond Beauty Spray and Beyond Beauty Moisturizer. All right? Okay. Okay, let me see here. Test. Hey, Dr. Wolfe, I've been drinking the cleansing tea and the tummy love for 2 days, already feeling a positive difference. Hi, Sarah. I want to ask, why do I feel slightly fluish during a It bounces every time somebody sends me in a new one. During the cleanse, fluish during the cleanse, is that normal? Fluish, okay. So what we got is we've got your large intestine, which has been stagnating waste, which has been breeding bad bacteria, which give off toxic waste. So now we go in and we take the daily cleansing tea that works on your lymph, your liver, your kidneys, and your blood. Okay, and it helps to detoxify your detoxification organs and your large intestine. So now the waste is moving down and out of the organs, but it's also stirring up the waste that's inside your large intestine. Make sure you're drinking lots of water. And if you feel a little bit nauseous, you can always do like a level teaspoon of baking soda and 8 ounces of water. Drink that, and it'll calm that tummy of yours down. Okay? That will leave, though, that fluish symptoms, because as soon as you bring the toxic load down, then you're not going to feel like that. But remember something, even bacteria fart, dear. So when you're stirring up the bad bacteria, they're giving off gas because they eat things, they give off gas, and bad bacteria give off bad gas. Have you ever smelled somebody that had bad gas? Yeah. You know, Uncle Harry? Yeah, right. Okay. Next, does this tea, daily cleansing tea, help lower cholesterol levels by chance? Hi, Paula. No. When you take the daily cleansing tea, your cholesterol levels will lower. Now, am I saying that it lowers cholesterol levels? No. What it does is it helps to detoxify, which brings down the acidity, that brings down the inflammation, and people have high cholesterol levels because they have high inflammation. And when you've got high inflammation, you've got high acidity. The high acidity is pulling on the minerals in the tissues of the arteries, causing little cracks. So your body makes more cholesterol because it's like candle wax to goop up the little cracks to protect your arteries. So if you get high cholesterol all the time, eventually you're going to have arterial sclerosis, or hardening of the arteries, which is made from what? Which is made from scar tissue and cholesterol. There you go. Yes, the daily cleansing tea helps the body to balance out your cholesterol levels by reducing the toxicity and taking the load off the cleansing organs. Do you think it's necessary to have a nuclear dye heart stress test when you have an irregular heartbeat? Oh my gosh. I would have a regular heartbeat every time I used to smoke a joint or go out and drink alcohol, or if I go and I totally exhaust myself, or if you go and you have a traumatic moment with a family member and you don't calm down. What is wrong with us? Okay, seriously, I know there's nothing wrong with you, Chris, but what is wrong with this world? We are test crazy. And everybody, you know what? You're always getting tested because guess what? You've given up faith on God, your body, or something, because we've all put it to man that just wants to test you. And aren't you being tested by going for all these tests? I'm not telling you not to go for these tests. But what I am telling you is, guess what? These tests make somebody money. And guess what? If I went and got a test today and I said, test me for everything, they're going to come back with something out of balance. Why? Because your body is always out of balance, in balance, out of balance, in balance. Oh my God. What do you think depression is? You're out of balance. What do you think a mood swing is? You're out of balance. Okay? So your body's always in balance and out of balance. I mean, what? Have we all gone crazy? Are we all falling for this medical madness? So no. If you have heart stress, why don't you just calm down and do the lion heart breathing, where you do go 6 seconds in and 7 seconds in, or go and have a nice warm shower and go to cool, or do the belly button therapy, okay? Or get yourself an Avasen. Our Avasen is the strongest device in returning microcirculation in the body in the world. And you can buy an Avasen. And it'll also teach you how to get into a parasympathetic state, because when you have heart stress, okay, and you have an irregular heartbeat, it's because you're out of balance. You maybe didn't drink enough water that day. But why are we freaking out? I'm telling you, they got to you, didn't they? They're getting to all of us, aren't they? Well, they're not getting to me. I'm not going for any tests. The only time you're going to see me in there is if I was in an emergency, like a car accident or a sports injury. I've never broken a bone, and I've never had surgery. Okay? But I will tell you that when I was younger, I set myself on fire. So I guess, that's the reality of it. I used to live in Newfoundland, and when I lived in Newfoundland, I lived in this small house with my grandfather on in Newfoundland on the cliffs, and we would go out cod jigging, and we with long ropes and jig cod, and they'd be anywhere from 2 to 3 feet, right? Around 20 inches to 36 inches. Anyways, one day he went out early, and then we would always put stove oil into the stove to get it started, and he switched out the cans and had gasoline in it, and I poured the gasoline in. There was hot cinders, and the gasoline went right up into my face, and I didn't realize it was oil. So what I did was the actual fire was on the gas tank I had in my hand, and I went and I threw it in the toilet, and then it exploded, and I only was in my underwear, and I got 3rd-degree burns all over my body, but you wouldn't know it. Anyways, I don't know where, I just thought I'd tell you a little story. There you go. Yeah, so honestly, it's called don't react, but take positive, calm action in your life, and your heartbeat will be so sweet. And as long as you keep on reacting and you don't calm down, and life is a crisis, and you forget to drink your structured water and enough of it, and you don't have a whole plant-based diet, and you don't get the cork out of your bum to detoxify gently every day, then you're going to be out of balance. But your body's always fighting for balance. Come on. If you don't cut your grass, the weeds take over. If you don't mind your own business, then guess what? Dysfunctional beliefs come in your mind and you become twisted. So understand it's always about good and evil, good and bad, hot and cold, okay? Light and dark, okay? So this is the planet of opposites, and the opposites are always coming up against each other. And that's what makes it so much fun. When you learn the rules to the game, then it's fun. Okay, and if you don't, then you're done. Okay, about going and getting tested. You know they're going to come up with a million other tests. You do know that the natural health business is going to come up with 1,000 different tests too, because everybody wants to test you. Do they want to test you because they want to tell you you're well, or they want to test you because they want to tell you where you're not well? And you know what? Whatever happened to just, looking at a person and going, hey, you're like 30 pounds overweight, and I can see a gray tip at the end of your nose showing that you have heart disease. I can see a line down your earlobe showing that you have heart stress. Okay, I can see that you have bags under your eyes, that your kidneys are overworked. I can see that you have dark circles because guess what? You're not drinking enough water and you're backing up all these poisons on your liver. Do you understand? These are my tests. These don't cost anything. All right. Colette, how does the body handle the broken up pieces of cancerous tumor from your therapy? There's no broken up pieces of cancerous tumor. You have to understand something. What we're doing is taking scar tissue lovingly apart, the fibers, allowing the blood and the lymph flow to come in. Don't you know that when you restore the light, you restore the oxygen, you restore the energy, there's an instant change that fast. So I'm not telling you that the actual tumor, but the legs are all scar tissue, and there's lots of fibroid scar tissue around the tumor, and then we'll start working on the edge of the tumor, start pulling it apart. But there's no such thing as pieces floating around. So, but you know what? That's a totally logical question. So understand, I really appreciate it. I'm sure there's other people thinking the same thing, right? So no, when you're doing the Wolfe non-surgical, we are allowing light, blood, and lymph flow to come back, and energy flow. We're not doing anything else. The body takes the scar tissue, takes the cancer cells, and it will look after getting rid of them, or it will turn them back to normal cells. Understand that. All cancer cells don't have to die, all right? Because they're not all cancer cells. They might have started their mutation. But remember, if you've got a tumor this big, it's not all cancer cells. It's calcification, crystallization, scar tissue, and mutated cells. Okay, and you can tell the difference because you get a tumor that's really hard, it's calcified. You can even get a tumor that feels like jelly. You can get a tumor that just feels like fibrous scar tissue. So there's many different types. Do you personally eat a plant-based diet? How do you get your vitamins, especially the B vitamins? Oh, I don't take B vitamins. I'll do a B12 spray very rarely, but I'm not deficient in anything. I do a Zija plant moringa protein drink. I do about a quart of carrot juice a day. I do about 3 quarts of water with fulvic, in it. I also do, where are we here? I do ATP, I do tummy love. I do the daily cleansing tea, but I do ocean essential oils. I don't do vitamin D because I have a vitamin D light. I don't need to do a lot of other things, believe it or not. When you become the light, you get all your supplements. Now you're going, whoa, he sounds like a crackpot. Now what I'm trying to tell you is when you lighten up and when you understand that your physical body is the smallest part of what you truly are, and when you do not take on any personal trauma from your family, friends, or the world, my God, life is just a beautiful thing. And when you realize that each day is an adventure, and your adventure is to see how much you can love yourself when the world is not loving you and testing you, and to see how much you can love yourself And even when other people aren't loving themselves and testing you, how you can continually love them plus yourself, that's when you rock the show. All right? And also, I take a really good concentrated mineral supplement that we're coming out with called Simonium Minerals, and you'll see that in about 6 weeks. All right? But let's not make our life focused on the physical. Let's make our life focused on the invisible. And I won't get into all of that, but I think you know where I'm going. Okay? Because inside of you lies all the truths, all the wisdom, and all the power to have the life that you were told you could have. Okay? How do you get rid of diabetes? Okay, first of all, is it juvenile diabetes? You were born with it. You may not get rid of it. I've heard of a couple of people have done it. You can reduce the insulin, I know, easy enough by 50% in a juvenile diabetic, but in a adult onset diabetes, you can't call that diabetes. That's not true diabetes. That's just somebody that has a terrible diet. That's somebody that had hypoglycemia all their life, and what they did was they exhausted their pancreas by eating a terrible diet. And if it's adult onset diabetes, you're going to look at the perfect day diet. So what I'd like to do is I'd asked for the quick start information from Nat so that we could give it to people on the show. So I want to give that to them after the show. So, all right? So if you can get that information from them, I want to put it up for people so they can see it. All right? So there's a way to do this. And when people say, how do I get rid of diabetes? I'd have to take a look at it, right? Okay, so, let me go through a few things. Okay, do you drink enough water? If you're a female, we know at least a minimum of 3 quarts a day, a male 4 quarts. Is it structured water? Do you have 2 to 3 really good bowel movements a day that you feel really like, wow, I feel like I've really cleaned out well? And when you sit down to go to the bathroom, is it hard to get it out? Okay? Are you there for a while? Are you squeezing to get it out? Okay? Does it come out easy enough? All right? Now, do you eat 3 meals a day? Because if you do, you're in trouble. Okay? Unless you're out there physically working like really hard, eating 3 meals a day is not a smart thing, because eating 3 meals a day will take as much energy as walking 10 miles. I eat 1 meal a day now. Now, I do a quart of carrot juice to a quart and a half a day. I do the water that I just told you that I drank. Okay? I do right now, what's this? I've got lemon, honey, and cayenne, and I drink a quart of this every day. So it's got lemon, a little, some honey, and cayenne in it, and I just love it. I love it. Summertime, wintertime, doesn't matter. Okay? It's an amazing drink. All right? And you definitely want to be drinking this drink, okay, if you're worried about viruses. Okay? And you want to be drinking that all the time. All right. Get the fire going, as they say. Let's find out here what else we got. So go take a look at the Perfect Day guide on page 37. Read about 20 pages. Okay, but take a look from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. on the way that I tell you to go through it. Look at the ultimate coffee enema. Okay, look at also doing vegetable juice fasting, and look at also doing the advanced water fast. And then there are really amazing products that will help in a diabetic situation, all right? And like I said, if it's adult onset diabetes, that's just because you've been beating yourself up, all right? And you can change that within a few weeks. Oksana, hi, Dr. Wolfe. What does freshwater diatomaceous earth do? Okay. Well, what it does is it creates silica, okay? And it helps to make your bones harder. So what you do is you take 2 level tablespoons of of pure diatomaceous earth, which is this right here. Okay, see it? And then you put that into a quart of water, let it sit overnight, and then you can strain it, and then you can drink it, and the silica will give you harder bones, okay, better bone structure, all right? But if you eat the diatomaceous earth in your blender drinks, the parasites go to eat it, and what happens is it just tears their little insides, and you get rid of all those worms, okay? And it helps to bring down other types of parasites as well. Hi, Dr. Wolfe. Hilda, is it normal to experience shortness of breath on a water fast? Okay. If it's structured water, and if you're also on a water fast, I do ATP. I do Ormus minerals, okay? Ormus minerals. And I also do fulvic, okay? This is the fulvic right here. Now understand something. You can actually do an advanced water fast, and you're not turning on the digestive tract, and you're not going to be short of breath here. The problem is that with a water fast, you're detoxifying fairly quick, and your body's going, wow, all these toxins are coming out that were stored in the fat cells and the scar tissue, and now it's eating up the oxygen. So yeah, that's why you have shortness of breath. So the reality is, if you were doing coffee enemas on this water fast, and if you were drinking structured water and you were adding these things that don't turn on the Krebs cycle, they just make your water fast that much more successful, then you would just rock that show and you wouldn't have it. But if you're feeling that way, it's best to go and get your belly button therapy kit. Go lay down, do the Lionheart breathing, and then do your belly button therapy, okay? Because you want to get yourself out of a sympathetic state back into a parasympathetic state, all right? And understand something. Whether you want to believe this or not, people that have anxiety attacks and heart arrhythmia, it's really because they're not in control of their stress. You know, whether you want to believe this or not, so many people are rushed to the hospital, okay, because they didn't mind their own business. Otherwise, they don't know how to control their mind or the emotions in it, and they think that every thought is theirs. My gosh, you know what? If I thought that every thought that went through my mind was mine, I would probably think, oh, well, Darrell, you're a pervert. Oh, well, Darrell, you're a nasty person. Oh, Darrell, you know what? How could you even think like that? You know, I got to tell you something. Like, you know, the world out there right now is pretty crazy, okay? I mean, almost anything is allowed to go on, okay? Look what goes on TV now, and any child can go see it. So are you going to tell me that the thoughts that child have are, no. There's so much going on in the world that if there's a thought that you don't like it, or it's an ugly thought, or something in your mind, it's not yours. You're beautiful. Just go like this. Get your love band and go, 3, 2, 1. That's not me. I got this. That's not me. That's the old me. That was never me. All right? Just change the thought. That's just like this girl with the PTSD. You know, she says, no, they told me I'm going to have PTSD all my life. There's no cure for this. And I said, well, they're wrong, but you're right. She goes, what do you mean? I said, well, they're wrong because that is totally a lie. And you're right, because long as you believe in a disease, you're going to have it. If you don't believe in the disease, it's going to leave, because disease means dis-ease. And a disease is not a disease. It's just a symptom that you created with your mind. And if you've never learned how to master your mind, then you could create anything you want, right? And everything you don't want. That's the problem. All right. Bear with me, everyone. I'm just, we have to find a better way to do these questions. Thank you, Dr. Wolfe, so much for your words of wisdom. How do you address a family that's bringing in potato chips, snacks, other healthy foods? Okay, I'll tell you how. It's my house. It's my house and it's my rules. And those rules are bring love in, bring health in. That's it. It's my house and it's my rules. And if you want to eat chips, do it in the car or do it anywhere else you want. But the reality is you're allowed to do anything you want to your body. But guess what? I'm Darrell Wolfe, and I can't have a bag of chips sitting on the cupboard. When I get working or I get really busy or I get tired, I may opt for the chips and just, instead of opting to just close my eyes for 20 minutes or just calm down and do an Avasen or just do the pelvic activation or get into my Lionheart breathing. So that's why. You don't put it on to people. You just go, look at, I'm addicted to this stuff. I know it. So if you don't bring it in the house, that'll be great. But eat as much as you want. That's the end of it. Nobody brings any junk food or any hate into my home. That's it. All right? Self-love, self-care. Does the Avasen help stimulate the mitochondria? Yes, it does. To produce more ATP. Yes, Joyce, it does. And I'm going to tell you something. I'll tell you why. Because microcirculation, you know how they tell you telomeres is how you can do telomere testing and see how long you're going to live? Well, guess what? It's not true. Because you can actually create more telomeres, healthy telomeres. What they say is that your microcirculation is going to tell you how long you're going to live and what you're going to die from. Because where your microcirculation is cut off in your body, that's where you're going to have scar tissue formation, calcification, crystallization, and mutation. And with the Avasen, we know that, okay, take Beamer. Beamer increases the actual microcirculation in the body. It's a mat, a PMF mat, by about 33%, I think it is. Well, Avasen increases it by 66%. That's double of a Beamer. A Beamer is like $8,000. And an Avasen is like, if you get it from us, we give you a $500 off. It's $3,500. And the reality is the Avasen will put you into a parasympathetic state every time. And all you got to do is put your hand in, it warms up, and you can feel it. And I'll tell you why it's working. Because within 3 months to 6 months, you've got 50% more hair on your head. And you're also finding that you got to cut your nails 2 to 3 times more often. Now, and that's for your toes and your hands. So there's so much literature on it. And if you go into my library and you go to the Energy Medicine Guide, go take a look at microcirculation and Avasen, and you can listen to the inventor, and then you'll see that everything I'm telling you is true. There's nothing like it. It's the best purchase you'll ever make, and it'll put you to sleep like you've never slept before. Oh, and I want to talk about this. So we have somebody here right now with PTT with sleep apnea, and she's got her machine here and everything. And I just told her, I said, by the end of the week, you won't need it. You go on a non-inflammatory diet. We clean out your colon, okay, and then we start opening up your lungs. You're just not going to need it. And she won't. You know what? I hope you know that you're all allowed to make yourself sick, and then we're going to invent something that we can sell you to show you that you are a cripple. Okay? That's where we're going. All right? Have you ever seen so many canes, walkers, wheelchairs? Okay? All right? They're not going to be able to build enough nursing homes for all the emotionally, physically, mentally crippled people out there, because society doesn't want you to go in and reclaim your inner strength. Okay? Does the Avasen, okay, did that. Is there a way to rid the foot of Morton neuroma? I've been doing PT for 8 months and it is not any better. Feels like I'm walking on a piece of broken glass under my toe ball of my foot. Morton's neuroma is a swollen, inflamed nerve in the foot causing burning, sharp pain on the bottom of the foot. Okay. I would just, you know what? I just want people to come on and challenge me. Just come on and challenge me. All this is crystallization in the nerve. So when she walks, it feels like glass poking the nerve. We could go in there, and how about this? How about usually something like this will take us 10 to 15 minutes, maybe 20 max. Did you hear what I just said? Go get all the therapy you want until somebody pulls the scar tissue apart, brings up the temperature to melt the crystals that are jabbing the nerve. That's all it is. So take all the drugs you want, go get all the expensive therapy you want. And this is why we do the personal treatment and trainings and people coming from all over the world. We have 2 families here right now. This is why we have master trainers flying around the world to people's homes. And this is why I opened up my whole life coach certification and my non-surgical certification. And I tell everyone, I don't care where you come from and what you do. If you're passionate and you love to love people and to help them, then you come and take my course and we'll help you create a business. All right? Anyways, the foot thing, I mean, you know what? Sometimes I got to be honest with you. Things are just so ridiculous out there. I don't even know what to say anymore. Okay? I just don't. It's all crazy. It's all crazy. You know, we're all getting sucker punched by the pharmaceutical system. I won't say the medical system, but the medical system got sucker punched by the pharmaceutical system. I'll tell you that much. Okay. All right. She's got to stop sending me. You know what? She's sending me so many questions that it's flipping it up. And so every time I go to get it, 1 second. Okay, hi, Dr. Wolfe. We spoke about 4 weeks ago, FaceTime, and you saw my face with the right eye swelling with fluid, my face, and you suggested that I do the coffee enemas. My skin looks amazing. The swelling is gone. It's the best thing I have ever done. Thank you for taking the time to talk to me. God bless. Well, God bless you. And you know what, everybody? There you go. There it is. You know what? This is why people don't want to come up against me. They may not change, but they don't want to come up against me because what I tell people is not about, yes, I sell products. Yes, I sell therapies. Yes, I sell treatments. But 80% of what I talk about is about you and your empowerment, right? And understand something. Your practitioner better be training you to empower yourself. And if they're not, you're at the wrong practitioner. Dr. Wolfe, asking for someone, how would you treat spina bifida? Is there a chance of getting the person out of his wheelchair? Spina bifida is a birth defect in which there is an incomplete closing of the spine membranes around the spinal cord during early development in pregnancy. You know what? I'm going to tell you something. I really believe that the mind masters the body. I really believe that I could say something. You know, could you get somebody out of a wheelchair? It depends how long they've been there, because the subconscious is 90% of the brain. And if the subconscious believes that the wheelchair is the safest place, then that person's really going to have to really work from their heart and their soul, and they're going to want it. Now, I want to see them push themselves up. I want to see them push themselves, that they're on the ground, that they're struggling to get up. Is that person doing it? Or is the whole world made that person into a victim and said, here's your diapers, here we'll feed you, here we'll do this, here we'll do that, here we'll do this. Listen, yes, make people comfortable, but don't make them too comfortable. You make people too comfortable and they'll never get well. And I'll tell you, no matter what my problem is or what my obstacle is in life, I've got what it takes because I've got a warrior attitude, okay? A peaceful warrior attitude, but I am going to move forward and go for it. Let me tell you something. Most of the people I know in my life, if they had this problem, they'd stay in that wheelchair. Because it's mind over matter, and it's got to matter that you get out of there. So what's your goal? What's your passion? What's your purpose? And then I'll tell you that if that person were to come to us, and then if they had a supportive family, when they go home, that would continue what we have taught, then yes, that person might get out of the wheelchair. Am I going to make any promises? No, because I'm going to tell you something. It's always mind over matter. And let me tell you something. Every family thinks they love each other, but a lot of the families, I would say that is a dysfunctional love. There's people in my family that it's totally dysfunctional. It's one-sided. I don't play any love games. I don't need anybody to give me love. I need the people around me to love themselves and to bring themselves up so that we can come together and create a masterpiece. That's what I need. I love the world. I love the world unconditionally because the world is never going to change. You must change. Did you get that? When I say to people, together we will change the world, I'm talking about your world. When you change, the world changes. Let me tell you, there are people that have the same thing that you have or less, and they're happier than you. Why? Because it's all about this. There are people in the world that have no money, no home, no food, but they smile more than you. Everything, not you, it's not a personal thing we're talking about here, because I can't even see anybody, but I know you're out there somewhere. But the reality is that I choose to love me. I choose to be happy no matter what the chaos. I've got people that work for me that are so, how can I say it, numbed out that they don't even feel. But they do their job. But would I rather have people working for me that believe that life was amazing and that today is an adventure and that every day we're going to strive for more? Good luck with that. Finding people around you, family members and people who work for you to have that kind of attitude. Because now they got to go home to people that have the same attitude as them. You got to want it. You got to want to get out of that wheelchair. And I know right now that it's not selfishness that I focus on what I want in my life. Because what I want in my life, I've been making a difference for people for 40 years, and I'm going to continue doing it. Okay. So yes, I believe that anybody can get out of a wheelchair, not if the spine's cut. And, there are exceptions. But how bad do you want to get out of it? And does this person have a dysfunctional relationship with themselves and their partner or their parents? There you go. There's the kicker. Can you please, Joanna, can you please give me more information about HGH for my brother? Thank you. Well, we have a product called HGH, and it will help to bring up his strength, but I don't know your brother, and I don't know what's wrong with your brother. So, I would always say if you want to get your brother well, then you should call in or not call in, but go online to certifications and fill out a certification sheet. I charge $350. It's a one-time fee. I'll never charge him again. And then he has my personal number, and he can call me as often as he wants. And that's the truth. Anybody can call me as often as they want, because you're going to find something. The more people call, the more questions they get answered, the more they get empowered until they no longer need me. And that's the reality. The day that you do not need to have somebody look after you is the day that you've learned to play the game on planet Earth. Love the Beyond Beauty Spray, Bioptron Light Therapy. This is Heidi. Use the Bioptron Light aggressively on my lump on my dog's neck. Canceled his surgery. Amazing. Good for you, Heidi. You know what? Let's take our power back, all right? We don't need doctors, okay? We don't need doctors. We don't need doctors. They need us. You don't need me. I need you. Do you understand? So what I'm trying to say here is that you've got to get to the point that you are your own practitioner, that you know how to look after yourself from the minute you wake up in the morning until you go to bed. That's the reality. Oh my God. God gave you a beautiful body. Have you been looking after it? Is it underweight? Is it overweight? Does it have a disease? And if it does, any of these things, then you're abusing it. You're not loving it. And I don't care what you say. I just love how the corporation America is getting all the people that are obese and letting them know that big is beautiful. And no, it's not actually. It's going to make you sick. You're going to have diseases like diabetes, heart disease, okay? You're going to have bowel problems. You're going to have love-making problems. Do I need to keep going? Big is not beautiful, okay? I'll tell you what's beautiful. That spirit that's inside of you that wants to be loved. And I know you should be loved no matter what shape you're in. And I do love you. But I'm not the one that's going to have to deal with the diabetes, getting my feet cut off, getting my legs cut off, or going in and getting dialysis, am I? I'm not going to be the one having to inject insulin in. I'm not going to be the one who's having to take all these pills. But you need to think about this. Society is programming you and me and everyone else to become victims because we're so broken, and God doesn't know how to create anything beautiful anymore. He just doesn't, does he? You wouldn't think so. We need all these drugs, and we need all these therapies. We need all these devices. We need all these tools. I think we've been fooled, schooled, and ruled. Can you help lipomas go away? A lipoma is a benign tumor made of fat tissue. Understand something? Yes, we can. That person needs to start eating properly. But the deal is that advanced water fasting, clapping, and padding, and detoxification is the key here. I'm telling you, it works. I know a gentleman, medical doctor, and he had probably 150 lipomas on his body. Now, he's probably down to about 20 right now. Not so bad, eh? It takes time. Things aren't going to happen overnight. You know why? Because your subconscious won't allow the healing to happen that fast, because your subconscious believes that the lipomas are doing something for you. The longer you have a disease, the more your subconscious believes that that disease is protecting you. I think I'm kidding? I'm right. Let me tell you something. You can cut the tumor out, but did you cut the belief out that caused the tumor? You can lose the weight, but it'll be back unless you lose the thought that caused you to create the weight in the first place. Boy, it's a buzz, isn't it? Huh. Yeah. You know, when I go out and I go around people, and look I'm telling you, this is why I do what I do. This is why I do this show. This is why we give away so much, because we want to give so much, because we have so much to give. And I want you to get to the point that you feel you have so much to give. I need you to find your gift, and I need you to share it with the world, because that's the only way this world's going to change. I'm on supplements, Joe, I'm on supplements to support my liver. Is it safe to use black gold while I'm on the supplements? Absolutely. Black gold is going to help to clean up your digestive tract and create a foundation for mommy's bacteria to feed off of. Okay? Black gold's amazing for that. Okay? Yasmin, hi, how do you get rid of knee pain? Well, first of all, beer drinkers have knee pain. People who take in dairy will have knee pain, like, you know, cheese and dairy, and heavy meat eaters will. If you're heavily stressed, you could have it. But in actuality, you could use DMSO cream, rose cream is really great. And use Pain Away, our Pain Away essential oil, and rub that on your knees every 15, 20 minutes to increase circulation. But if you come and see a Wolfe non-surgical therapist, we'll go in a half an hour on each knee, and we will make them brand new. You give me somebody with a walker, with a cane, with a knee problem, and give me 1 hour, half an hour for each knee, and there's 3 stairs here. They'll need help coming down. They will not need help going up. Now, you can think, wow, that's not true. And I'll tell you, yes, it is. It is true. I'll tape it. You have them come and I'll tape it. That's the reality. I don't care what joint problem you've got, what's going on in your body. First treatment with Wolfe non-surgical, there is no other body work like this. And you know what? People should be jumping up and down because most of the body work out there is so watered down. And guess what? If you continually keep going back for therapy, is it working? I don't think so. All right. Okay. Amy, share recommendations for SIBO. SIBO is small intestine bacterial overgrowth. Thanks so much. Understand something, Amy. Daily cleansing tea, tummy love, okay? Black gold, curcumin, cayenne. Get on those 4 things. Call me up. And then go to the Perfect Day Diet in the Perfect Day Guide, page 40. Go from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Take a look at that and then call me up. All right? And we'll go through this. But the reality is, what is it? Small intestine bacterial overgrowth? Most of the time it's because the ileocecal valve stays open and the waste from the large intestine backs up into the small intestine. That's the big problem right there. And the other thing is it's diet. You can turn this around so much. You know what? We make everything into a disease, okay? I have SIBO. So what? You've got a whole bunch of bad bacteria running around in your large intestine. Big deal. Change the terrain. And then they can't live there. They'll either die off or they'll morph back into good bacteria like they were. What's the big deal? It's in the mind, okay? So also don't be going to functional medicine doctors that unless they're empowering you. Okay, you know, this lady calls me up and she goes, I just came from my functional medicine doctor. And, she's coming here for a 1-week treatment anyways. That'll all be gone. And she said, I've got sinus problems so bad in my face. And the first thing he said we should try is antibiotics. Well, that's really great because now he knocked the good bacteria out of her large intestine. And we know that the sinusitis was caused because of fungus. And the reality is when you do a round of antibiotics, it might bring it down, but then it's even going to be worse later. You can't win. You don't do antibiotics unless you're in a life-threatening situation or you'll create one. Oh my gosh, you know, anything for money, eh? Anything for money. Anything for money. My boyfriend, Amy, my boyfriend has lots of bumps popping up in his throat, neck, back, head. The doctor said his lymph nodes are a little inflamed. Do you have recommendation to stop these from being inflamed? Well, first of all, your boyfriend's constipated. Okay? Tell him to stop snacking at night. Start drinking more water, structured water. Take the daily cleansing tea and take tummy love, all right? And start eating more salads and get off any dairy products, any bread for a while, and these are going to stop. You know, your lymph nodes don't swell unless your bowels back up, which means your boyfriend has been constipated for how long? Amy, if we could talk right now, I'd just say to you, after he goes number 2, do you dare go into the bathroom? I doubt it. You probably have to hold your nose because the thing is that there's trouble down below. He's rotting here, backing up the waste because the lymph dumps into the large intestine and it won't dump in there. It's like, you know, if I plug up the drain in the shower, then nothing's going down, is it? Okay? So nothing's going down. The lymph node swelling's not going to go down. All right. Joe, I'm on. Okay, that's it. Hi, how do you get rid of knee pain? Did it? Chris, I want to try coffee enemas, but afraid where to get the right product. Well, just go on my website or call us. Here it is. Or you can go to Amazon. S.A. Wilson's coffee. Stainless steel bucket, tummy love, okay, and black gold. And guess what? Go onto my perfect day, into my perfect day guide on my library, and look up the Ultimate Coffee Enema, and then you're going to rock that show. And you're not going to hurt yourself, and it's really, really good, okay? Okay, Carol, do you have a way of getting rid of keloid scar on my belly button from surgery? I've used some natural products and try to eat clean. And, just so everybody knows, I won't take any more from the phone today so I can get these done. Thank you. Oh, and by the way, while I'm here, here's the perfect day guide. So if you go on my library, you can see it. And then if you want to go in and try to start doing some things called the 12 loving steps to actually try to start loving yourself. But I know you love yourself, right? You totally love yourself, right? No. Why do you think heart disease is the main killer in North America? Because nobody loves themselves. Not unless you really work on it. I'll tell you right now, I probably meet 1 out of 10,000 people that truly love themselves. And the rest don't. And you know why? Well, you can thank not every religion, but most religions for that. Because you're unworthy. You're a sinner. And you cannot be forgiven unless you punish yourself for a lifetime. So how could you love yourself? Oh, wait a minute. And if you're going to do all those things I just said, then you're never going to heal. Are you worthy of healing? No. If you believe you should be punished, then how could you even have a vibration to heal? Anyways, check this out. This is my Braveheart 12 Loving Steps. All right. I don't know if anybody noticed, but if you knew me like a few years ago and now, you would see that I'm more like this. Doom. I talk like this. Doom. I don't think we have time to sugarcoat things. Do you? I don't think so. When I say go with baby loving steps, then you better do many baby loving steps every day. You know, when people tell me I'm in the process of working on myself, oh man, I get nauseated. Are you kidding me? No. Get there now. And how do you get there now? You totally love yourself. You totally forgive yourself. You totally honor yourself. You totally respect yourself, which means you're going to have to practice, right? Here's a love band. There's a hug. That's a kiss. I can kiss myself in public without going to jail. There you go. All right. Okay. So, do you have a way of getting rid of keloid scar on my belly button from surgery? Well, yeah. I've used some natural products and I try to eat clean and it's shrunk and better but not gone. Of course, if I eat sugar or eat bad, it feels worse. Is there a way to get rid of it completely? Thank you. Well, first of all, let me just say this. Okay. Everybody's got a weak link, and when you get tired, that weak link shows. When you eat wrong, that weak link shows. When you think wrong, that weak link shows. Because it's all about creating acidity in the body. So inflammation causes the scar tissue formation, calcification. You know the story. It's a domino effect. Anyways, I would get yourself the belly button therapy and start doing that because you said it was right near your belly button. So go take a look at belly button therapy. And if you go to look at the Holy Grail of Healing video on YouTube, check that out. You'll see how to do it. Next thing. The next thing is, all right, what I would be doing is I would also be putting DMSO. I would probably be using the stronger DMSO, like the gel, the DMSO gel, just a teeny bit on there 3 times a day. And then I would also put on the Pain Away essential oil, and I do that a few times a day. Keep a little bottle in your pocket and rub that on, okay? And then I would see a Wolfe non-surgical therapist, and guess what? How about in 10 minutes they could probably take that apart, okay? It depends on how big it is, but they could take it apart. Now, just know this, you were right. A whole plant-based diet and drinking structured water and doing the daily cleansing tea and reducing the toxicity in your body is going to help the healing. Amy, what's the best way to restore the gut? I have SIBO. We already did that. Jerry, I have lower back pain. I had your practitioner work on me 4 times and it went away, but everything came back within a week. Jerry, are you on the daily cleansing tea? Jerry, did you stop eating dairy products, meat, and bread and went on a whole plant-based diet for 6 weeks? Jerry, go take a look at the Perfect Day Diet on page 37 in the Perfect Day Guide in my library, and start doing the ultimate coffee enemas. Now, for most guys, they will not do a coffee enema because there's no way they're going to put something up their bum because they're homophobic. Now, understand, if you do the coffee enema and you start doing them, Jerry, and you start taking the daily cleansing tea and you start making changes in your diet and you go back to the practitioner, they're going to get rid of it. But the reality is, Jerry, you're leaving the practitioner and you're still have an inflammatory lifestyle. So we can pull the scar tissue apart, get rid of the crystallization, and we can get the calcium back into the body by using Merigen, because Merigen will totally restore your bones, okay? There's no such thing as osteoporosis, osteopenia, or fractures when you're on the SAC calcium products, okay? And you can read about those and watch the video if you go into my library and you go to the SAC calcium guide. All right? Next. So that's your answer, okay? So did you change your lifestyle that created the problem? Bambi, hi, I would like to purchase the Bioptron with monthly payments. We don't do that. We can't do that. Sorry. And you know what? Maybe someday, but not right now, Bambi. Brenda, I believe I have detached retina. I had flashes in my eyes. And after having the flashes in my eye, my vision is blurry. How can I heal that? Well, believe it or not, you can use silver bullet spray. You can also use the fulvic eye drops, okay? These are really great. That's really going to help your eye. Understand something. That's the first place to start. But a detached retina is actually an inflammatory problem, which is actually an autoimmune disease. Just understand, we have a Tesla device that actually, it was built for eyes. And guess what? It's an original Tesla device. It was built in 1920. Yeah, and I had it restored. So that has actually helped people that were supposed to be legally blind see again. How's that for crazy, eh? Tesla, smartest man that ever existed. Amy, what is the difference between this filter, structured filter, Wu Wei, and the structured water US filter? There is no difference. One just says USA, and the other one says Wu Wei. So this one has on it Wu Wei, and it just means no action, because there's no moving parts, there's no filter, there's no electricity, and this lasts for life. And you can take any water in the world, any drink, structure it, and it protects the human body against anything that's in it. You can read about that, okay? Christine, I have Lyme and Bartonella, a group of emerging infectious of diseases. My eyes are blurry, and I'm sure there are spirochetes or other bacteria in there. Would colloidal silver drops help? Yes, they would. And also the bright eyes, okay, would help as well. Now, understand something. You would not, okay, so you're only going to get viruses and bad bacteria and worms in low integrity tissue. Bring up the integrity of the tissue and they can't live there. End of story. Hello, Sarah. Hello. Can sciatica also be healed like a hernia in your back? Okay, first of all, sciatica is so easy for us. Okay, so anyways, you've got these two tuberosities. Put your, go find your kidneys. Okay, are you where your kidneys are? Just below your ribs. Come down just a little bit. Come down a little lower, about 3 inches, and you'll feel two bumps there. And they almost look like two bumps or indentations for people. Around there is scar tissue crystallization calcium. If I went in there and worked that, and then I came over top of your hip, then I came into the fossa underneath your butt cheek and followed that down in 1/2 hour to 40 minutes, how about I got your sciatica? There you go. That's how you do it. And there is no such thing as a sciatica problem that cannot be fixed. All right? I offer a money-back guarantee on it. Okay, Robin, do you treat Epstein-Barr virus? I treat the body and bring up the vibration, bring up the quality of the tissue. The Epstein-Barr virus is in everyone. My God, it's in Lewis. He's right here, just a few feet from me. It's in me. But the reality is the Epstein-Barr virus will never, ever harm you if you vibrate high enough. If you vibrate down to its level, you turn it on. End of story. Okay? We're not out to attack and kill viruses. We're going to bring up the vitality and the vibrance of the human body. What is wrong with us? I mean, this whole go to war thing. I mean, are you watching the commercials now about be a warrior and come and let's go attack other people around the world? Guys, I'm just saying, this whole attack thing, stop attacking yourself. That would be a good starter. All right? And then make sure if you decide to attack somebody out there that the story is true. How's that? Bambi, 12 years of black mold exposure. Candida yeast finally disappeared 1 year ago. I was diagnosed with breast cancer, right breast stage 2 3 years ago. Some changes and a little growth. 2 lymph nodes are swollen. Been to the Hoxie over the last year and a half in Mexico. I know nutritional health. How do I know when I detox from the exposure? After care suggestions, I started massaging the deformed breast and ordered some of your products, working on your masterclass. You know, I would tell you that if you could afford it, you should come to us for 7-day treatments. And that's where you come in for about 3 hours a day for about 5 to 6 days. And if you come here, we could just do so much for you. But the reality is, you say you know what to do. I would take a look at my perfect day guide. Go look at advanced water fasting and take a look at coffee enemas. And then Bambi, you know what? You do know a lot, and I can tell that. Just give me a call. My extension is number 5, and we can talk about it. And then you can be more specific, because you know what? Anybody who works this hard, you know what? It's like people go, well, Dr. Wolfe, I don't want to bother you. You know, it's the people that want to bother me, the people that want to go through my master class. And everybody, I didn't state it, but, you know, if you want, you can go to my master class. It's called the A to Z Wellness Masterclass. You'll see it says Masterclass on the top page of itioh.com, International Training Institute of Health website. Click on there, put in the word master, and then go through my masterclass. Tell me what you think. Oh, and guess what? I just shot, like I said, Break from the Herd or Meet the Butcher. And it's a 3-parter. And if you can watch that Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, and then I'll do a Q&A on Monday, you are going to get so much information on this. So check that out, Bambi, okay? Please check that out. Then give me a call. Rita, can you treat diverticulosis without surgery? You know what? Give me something hard to do. Diverticulosis is somebody that's been constipated for like 10, 20 years. They don't drink enough water, okay? And they eat too many inflammatory. Diverticulosis, okay, is constipation, severe, where the waste gets caught. You have your bowel pockets like this, and the waste gets caught in the pocket. And then after a while, if this was the lining, okay, of the pocket, the waste sits here, a little turd ball, and it gets stuck, and it creates bacteria, and it eats away at the lining. And then guess what? Just like a bulge in a tire, it's sticking out. That's all. And then as soon as you get on our daily cleansing tea, Tummy Love, Curcumin Cayenne 5000, and Black Gold, and look at the Perfect Day diet, these diverticulosis, these are like little capsules caught in these outpouchings. They're going to pop out, and then the tissue's going to come back in and heal. That's the amazing thing about the body. You know what? You're all surgery crazy. I'm so glad that I did this, okay? I shot this 3-part series, and it's all about the surgery-obsessed North Americans. We're all just crazy. You know what? We're all running these hate programs, and just cut another piece out that I hate. Cut another piece out. Cut another piece. Did you know that the average North American in their lifetime has 9.2 surgeries in their life? Are we like crazy? And that the average 60-year-old is on 4 to 6 different prescription drugs. Well, we're not just crazy, but we're dumbed down, aren't we? Can you treat, okay, we did that. Okay. Leslie, can you get rid of bone tumors with black gold? No, I've never heard of that. No. Will it help your body? Yes. And I really don't think that anything gets rid of tumors. I think that we can take things that assist the body in a way that create an environment that the tumor can't live in. That's what I think. 13, Melissa. Hi, we spoke about bleharoplasty. Oh, upper eyelids. Okay, over the phone. You mentioned that you could share the post-surgery suggestion on your Q&A. Well, okay, so what she had surgery, and she's got now scar tissue right here on her upper eyelid. And I told her that what she should be doing is not right away when it's healing and it's not like inflamed. She can gently pad her eye, not in the eye, but here on the side, up above, and underneath. What happens if she were to do here, here, here? Not here, but do padding here, here, and here. She increases the circulation for the healing, but she should also put silver gel on the scar tissue, right? When she goes to bed at night, she can put like a little bit of silver gel right after the surgery, because it's 20 times stronger than the silver liquid, and it's a natural antibiotic. So it's gonna help heal it faster. And then she can also put on there, she can spray on there Beyond Beauty spray during the day. She can also then put on our structured moringa oil, because our structured moringa oil has more nutrients in it than any other oil. Okay, so those are the things that I would do with that. And if you can afford it, get a Bioptron light, because a Bioptron light would heal this with no scar at all, and it would heal it so beautifully. Okay, I just turned 40. Crystal, I just turned 40, never had a mammogram, but my doctor is telling me to get one. What are your thoughts on mammograms? I don't know, Crystal. What are your thoughts on this? What are your thoughts on you learning how, or your husband or your boyfriend or your partner learning how to do Wolfe non-surgical, and that person can go in here and get rid of all the scar tissue crystallization and tone your breasts up? What do you think of that? Or do you think we should get a mammogram where they're going to slap them down like a pancake, and then they're going to what? Basically x-ray them, okay, and radiate into them. You might as well just stick them in a microwave, right? Okay, so I wouldn't go for mammograms. I would go for a thermogram. So find out who does thermograms in your area. Don't go for a mammogram. Well, you can go for whatever you want. People can do whatever they want, okay? Just because somebody with a white coat or with a degree, or they call themselves professional, tells you to do something, why would you ever do it? First of all, do not trust professionals. Oh, that would be mean. Don't trust me. Make sure that I earn your trust. Make sure that what I'm telling you, it's not dangerous, not life-threatening, for one thing. And ask yourself, am I telling you this information to help empower you, or because I believe that I've put my kids in a college that's too expensive, or I bought my new Mercedes when I shouldn't have? What do you text? What do you recommend for hemorrhoids? Do you recommend surgery? Oh my gosh. Well, I recommend surgery for anything if you're not going to take massive personal action for yourself. I mean, hemorrhoids are just where you've blown out. Remember the bulge in the tire? We got a bulge in your tire because you've been constipated for so long trying to, right? And then you've let the waste sit in the last 4 inches of your bowel, eating away the lining of your tissue. All right? How does it feel to have a cork up your butt? So if you are going to take action, then do it. But just understand something. When you get the hemorrhoids cut, they're going to come back right beside it, because the scar tissue that it leaves is going to create weak tissue there, and now you're going to get hemorrhoids right beside it, and they're even going to be worse. All right. So right off the bat, why aren't you getting on the daily cleansing tea? Why aren't you getting a structured water units and drinking at least 4 quarts a day? Why aren't you getting the Tummy Love, the Black Gold, the Curcumin Cayenne 5000, and then eating things that are alive? Stop eating cadavers. Stop eating dead animals and dairy and taking bread. This is all corking you up, and it's all creating inflammation. Okay? Hi, Dr. Wolfe. Is it safe to drink cleansing tea while breastfeeding? Yes, it is. And guess what? So watch the baby. If you're taking your cleansing tea and the baby's stool starts to get loose, then back off on the tea. Your baby's going to tell you exactly how it goes, and it's not going to hurt your baby. All right? That's the only rule. Hi, Dr. Wolfe. I have some questions about the detox tea. I understood the recommended dose is 2 times a day, but would it be best to drink it on an empty stomach? Yes, that's right. In the morning or at night. Both. Twice a day. Before or after a meal. Well, probably on an empty stomach is better, but even if you drank it after the meal or with your meal, it still works. You could even mix it in with your soup. It's still going to work. Can everyone take the tea? Absolutely. Including children? Absolutely. Of any age? Absolutely. So if the child was only 20 pounds, then if we know that an adult will take 8-ounce glass, then a child, if we took the adult of 160 pounds and the child was 20, divide that by 8. So 8 by 8, so that would be 1 ounce. So you'll put 1 ounce of that in some water and let the child drink it. Only let them do 1 ounce a day. Okay, or do a half an ounce in the morning, half an ounce at night. Do that for 3 days, gradually build it up. Let me tell you something. The 2 sectors that are the most constipated are children and senior citizens. Children, because guess what, honey, would you like a treat? They eat way more junk than we do, well, most of the times, okay? And then there's the senior citizens that, well, scar tissue issue. There it is. Including, would it be safe to drink the tea a year after having bypass heart surgery? I'd be taking the tea before the surgery, right after the surgery, the bypass heart surgery. Let me tell you something. The surgery was caused because of your bowel, and I can prove that too. Okay? All right? Okay. Is it okay to store the tea in a stainless steel pot? Yes. Can it be taken during menstruation? Absolutely. And take more before, and then you won't have as much pain and the flow will go better, right? Bring down the toxic load, because when you menstruate, all the toxins come down into the pelvis. Make sure you got the corks out of your butt so that you're ready to flow. Is there a recommended duration I should be drinking the detox tea for, or just a course of 6-week package? Well, first of all, I don't know. It's called daily cleansing tea, and I've been doing it now and drinking the tea. I actually put this tea together back when I was 28, and now I'm almost 64, and I drink the tea every day. So you do whatever you want, but remember something. Your large intestine is the holy grail, and if you spend a little bit of money every day and you gently cleanse every day, then you're not going to pay. And you know, these people that go, oh, I cleanse every 6 months. Well, yeah, what do? They cleanse when they feel like crap. Well, I don't need to feel like crap. I'm going to feel wonderful every day, thank you. You know, it's like this. Do I leave the garbage lay around the house? Okay? Or do I flush the toilet just once a week? Or should I flush it every day? What are some symptoms I can expect when first starting on the detox tea? Some people will have none. It all depends on your emotions, all depends what you eat, and it really does. You know, you could get a little bit of cramping, but make sure you're drinking lots of water, and try not to be doing a lot of bread and dairy and animal products. When you get started, you're just giving it that much work to do, right? Okay? But you can go and read the Daily Cleansing Tea Guide in the Doc of Detox library, okay? And it's got lots of information in there. 18, Adina. Hi, Dr. Wolfe. My uncle has gout, and someone recommended for him to take the fulvic acid. Would that help? What do you suggest? Well, yeah, I would have him on the Daily Cleansing Tea, the curcumin cayenne, the tummy love, okay, and the fulvic, and now we're off to the races, okay? That's what I'd be doing. Jackie, please do a video on calcification of the abdominal aorta okay, and iliac artery if you can. Well, I don't know if I really need to do that, but what we're talking about is calcification of the abdominal aorta. Understand something. The only reason why anything calcifies is because it's so acidic that it could mutate and cancer is going to come there. You do get that, right? You do understand it. Things that calcify, just like, gallstones, kidney stones, calcium deposits in the breast are all precancerous states. It shows that there's a chance of getting cancer because you have to pull so much bone, okay? You have to pull so much calcium out of the bone to buffer down the pH because your diet and your lifestyle are not doing it and you're on fire. And when you're on fire, that causes mutation. So your body says, no, I will opt for calcification, not mutation. Okay, so now what you do, then you get a block. That calcification becomes a block. And even though it saved your butt, if you don't get rid of the calcification and the scar tissue that's around the aorta and the iliac and in the iliac artery, then you've got big trouble. Okay, and this is a diet change. This is getting on the SAC calcium again, right? Go to my library, go to the SAC calcium guide, watch the videos, and then take a look at the 30-page that we have there, okay? Dawn, my friend has been told that they have cirrhosis of the liver, a condition in which the liver does not function properly due to long-term damage. My friend no longer drinks. Can this be reversed? Yes, it can be reversed. Your liver's amazing. You could lose 2/3 of your liver and it would still function properly. Now, the reality is, with a problem like this, you've got a 20-foot hold. Don't go to a doctor that's going to give you a 5-foot or 10-foot ladder. I would suggest that she fills out the form. If she can afford calling me, and it's $350 for me, or if you get a consultation by Jason or Sage, it's $125 to learn the perfect day. But at least get started and get strategy going here, okay? 21, Karen, I've had 3 lower abdominal surgeries after my last colonoscopy. My doctor told me scar tissue prevented the scope from moving through the colon due to scar tissue attached and twisting around my colon. Do you know what colonoscopies do? They cause more scar tissue. Okay, Karen, you need to look at Lewis. Are they going to put that up? I need that. Where is it? Huh? Okay, next Monday we'll put it up, okay? They were going to put it up today, but it didn't make it. All right. So what I want you to do is I have anybody who wants to, they can call in. I have what's called the quick start, all right? Can you tell them to come in and bring me the quick start so I can at least read it, okay? All right? Okay, so here's the deal. Karen, with all these things going on, if you could afford coming here and getting treatments or coming here for a personal treatment and training, we could actually get rid of the scar tissue and we could untwist that colon. You got it. So as long as there's going to be inflammation, as long as you're going to allow them to do things like that, like colon, go up your colon, they're going to irritate it. All right, get yourself on the daily cleansing tea, the Tummy Love, curcumin cayenne, again, 5,000, it's really important. And then what I would suggest you do is I would get yourself a clapper from us and start doing clapping on the abdominal area because it will help it, okay? Start off gentle, just patting it, and then work your way up. But the reality is you've got to get circulation in there. And if you don't get that beef jerky, which is that scar tissue in your colon changed, guess what it's going to do? Go ask your doctor. Didn't he tell you that it's going to close off your bowels? And when it closes off your bowels, that's called a life-threatening situation. Understand, the quality of your bowel movements and your urination will tell you how healthy you are. There it is. So check that one out. Okay, so we know where most people are going. When 50% of the women in North America, they continually drip. They can't stop dripping. Well, that's because their bowels rotting out. Do you get that? That's 1 out of 2 women. Okay, but you're going to find out a lot more if you listen to Break from the Herd. Okay, go to the or meet the butcher. All right, and that's on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of this week. Yeah, there's so many things that we could do here, Karen. So you can do castor oil packs, but the reality is that if I was me, I would be going on the perfect day, and then I would go to juice fasting, and then I would go to advanced water fasting, and I would do the coffee enemas, and I would get Wolfe non-surgical for sure. I mean, I'm going to tell you something, Karen. I wish you were here right now. We would do it live. I could work on you for half an hour to 40 minutes, and guess what? You would feel like somebody just set you free, girl. Okay, 22, Pam. What about hernia mesh surgery? I have a relative in ICU because of complications from it. Well, absolutely. You have to understand something. Everybody used to go for, when they had a hernia, they'd get suture. Now, suture dissolves. There's nothing wrong with that. I have people that have to leave the state or the province to go find a doctor to do it. Understand, surgical companies, okay, they make the actual mesh for $25. The surgery for the mesh is $2,000. They get $2,000 for it. Not so bad, eh? Okay, so there's where you should buy stock. There you go. Okay, so now the mesh is a foreign object. So as soon as you put the mesh in, the inflammation creates so much scar tissue, calcification, crystallization, and just like rebar and cement, it gets frozen in there. But remember something. Did you ever have a sliver? It irritates. It infects. Well, what do you think it's doing down in the pelvis? Holy crap. That'll never happen to me. You don't put a foreign object down in your pelvis. That is the most dangerous place to do it. They are going to have complications until they embrace the perfect day. Okay? And that means how they think, what they eat, okay, what they drink, how they detox, how they live their life. And if they do that, then they can avoid what the mesh is going to do. And this mesh is going to create problems from the tip of their nose to their toes. And you better get this. And I'm telling you, I'll come up against any doctor who wants to meet me on my show anytime because they know this. They know this. And they're pushing this mesh because when you get the mesh, you're going to have more surgeries. You're going to be on more drugs. Oh, my gosh. You know what? My daughter almost died. If it wasn't for a doctor and doing surgery, she would have died. But I will tell you something out there. There's terrorism out there. Okay? It's awful what's going on. Why wouldn't they suture? It works just as well, works better. There's no complications. There's an evil plot out there, whether you think so or not. So you better learn how to protect and love yourself. And if you don't love yourself, well, then you'll pick therapies where they take a pound of flesh. They'll never get a pound of flesh from me. Joanna, what's your opinion on aortic aneurysm, which is an abnormal bulge that occurs in the wall of the major blood vessel? Do you recommend surgery or not? The size is close to the one they consider ready for surgery. Listen, when we're in a life-threatening situation, we go for surgery. That's it. I am not a surgeon. I am not a doctor, okay? I'm a natural health doctor. I am not a medical doctor, and I am not a surgeon. And if it wasn't for surgery, there'd be a lot of people that wouldn't be alive. But because of surgery, there's a lot of people that aren't alive today. So take it any way you want it. You know what? It's called using your common sense. Karen, can you treat a Morton's neuroma, a painful condition that affects the ball of your foot? We talked about that already. And yes, I guarantee you that you give me 20 minutes to 35 minutes and I can't just treat it. We'll turn it. Debbie, how can we reverse osteoporosis? Oh, and you know what? If you want to give me a call, Karen, I'll give you some things that you can do. We'll meet on Skype and I will go through this with you and tell you exactly what to do. You can book with the clinic, and I promise you, if what I tell you doesn't get rid of it, I'll give you your money back. Debbie, how can we reverse osteoporosis, osteoarthritis? Well, you have to understand something. The main mineral in the human body is calcium, and that's because it's used to buffer down acidity. And if your blood becomes too acidic, you're gone. So you have to understand that when you traumatize, dramatize, and when you eat an inflammatory diet, okay? And when you eat an inflammatory diet and you have an inflammatory mind, you're going to be pulling all kinds of calcium from the bones to buffer down the acidity so that you don't have a heart attack, you don't have a stroke, so that you don't have cancer, so that you don't have any type of itis, from sinusitis to arthritis to colitis. All right? So how do you reverse osteoporosis? Let me tell you something. Merogen is the strongest of them. Cardigan is second, is not as strong, about half the strength of Merogen. And I will tell you, as far as I'm concerned, this is the only product, the SAC ionic calcium therapy in the world, that will reverse osteoporosis. Now, how do you slow it down? Well, you slow it down by, like I said, learning how to bring balance back to your life on a emotional and physical level. And osteoarthritis just means inflammation of the joint, and osteo just means you've been pulling the calcium out of the bones. And understand, wherever there's inflammation, the closest bones to that area is going to pull the calcium out. It's not rocket science, guys. And you're not going to find any answers for osteoporosis, osteoarthritis with the medical system. They haven't got it. And if they do have it, I'll let you know. All right? So anyways, this here is called Create the Perfect Day for the Perfect Life. And I've written down, it's like a starting. If you wanted to get started with us, I tell you where to go, what videos you should look at, and what information, so you could get a jump start. So if you want, you can call in and let me see, how can we? No, I'll tell you what you do. I want you to send an email to Nat, N-A-T, Nat at docofdetox.com. Okay? Nat at docofdetox.com. And he's going to email you back this. But what are we going to do, Lewis? We're going to make sure that we have this for every Monday. It's going to come up. And at the end of the show, we're going to let it stay up for a little bit. Okay? All right. Do you have any practitioners in the Grand Prairie area? I can check that out for you. Hi, Dr. Wolfe. I get UTIs at least 3 times a year. That's chronic constipation. I have gouda equina, a bundle of spinal nerves below the end of the spinal cord are damaged. No, they're not. They're not damaged. They're wrapped in scar tissue and calcium, and sometimes I must not void completely. Is there anything I can take to help with emptying the bladder completely? Let me tell you something. First, you've got to look at your bowel. Then you got to look at your liver. So then I've already explained what you would take for the large intestine. And you need to get on the Perfect Day diet and look at doing coffee enemas, but understand that spinal problem you have. How about this? I really wish you were so close, because I would work on you for free. We'd do it live right here, and I would show everybody that in 15 to 20 minutes, I can unravel this spinal cord damage. It's not damage. It's scar tissue crystallization. You know what? Do you know how many people come to us that they were told they have spinal stenosis and that they need to have back surgery, spinal surgery? And do you know how many come to us and it takes me a half an hour, either me or one of my team, a half an hour to 40 minutes to actually get rid of that? Oh, yeah. And they'll tell you, oh, look at this. The nerve's coming down and now the nerve is gone. It's dead. No, it's not. It's wrapped with scar tissue calcification and crystallization. Shame, shame on you. That's what I say. So what would you rather have? Spinal fusion, a spinal rod put in your spine, or would you rather have a money-back guarantee that if we can't help you, we'll give you your money back? Okay, there we go. All right, let's just cut to the chase. That's what I say. And sometimes it looks like to you that I might be impatient. I'm not. Do you know how much of this dysfunctional therapy and misinformation is going on? I have to listen to mothers, mainly mothers, okay? All right? And mainly women calling me because they're the caretakers and they're crying. They're ready to pull their hair out because they've been given a broken health care program to give to their children, their husband, and themselves. Until the point that they're the ones that are taking drugs because they're so depressed because they've been given a dysfunctional program, so they think they're the broken ones. So as far as the bladder goes, you'll empty your bladder when it's not inflamed and constricted. I can't really go into this too deep right now because it's getting late. So the bowel is leaking waste into the pelvis, which is like a big cup, and your colon's here. Your colon comes down like this. Okay, where's your bladder? Oh my gosh, isn't that something? Your bladder sits right in front of the last 4 inches of your bowel. Meanwhile, most people are constipated. You're absorbing the waste into the tissues. The bladder's getting all inflamed, but also the waste is getting into the rest of the body. And then it goes through the kidneys, and then it comes into the bladder. Now you've got waste in the bladder. You got waste in the bladder sitting at the bottom, irritating. Then you've got waste on the outside, irritating the outside of the bladder, and that's why it's contracted. That's why you're in trouble. Easy to turn around. But you probably have a lot of scar tissue now down around your ovaries, uterus, and the bladder area, which I would see and get some Wolfe non-surgical. Number 28, my question is from Jay. I'm drinking 4 quarts of carrot juice every day and feeling great. Good for you. I'm sick and tired of people telling me I'll turn orange. Okay, people turn a little orange color because their liver's detoxifying. I stopped turning orange 30 years ago. You don't turn orange by drinking carrot juice. The carrot juice actually is detoxifying you. Why do people turn orange? Oh, there, I just said it. Is it because they are very toxic? You got it, my friend. Or is there any other reason to it? No, the liver's cleansing, Jay. Okay, Jay, why is my urine clear? It doesn't matter if I drink 1 or 4 quarts of water, structured water daily. It's always clear. Some days it has a blue tinge to it. It has been like this for years. Well, I don't know about the blue tinge. Maybe there's some kind of heavy metal residue there. But as far as clear, I don't know. I mean, when I drink a lot of liquid, a lot of water, it can be clear because you're just flushing out so much. But what's your first urine look like of the day? That's what I would want to know, okay? Elise, can I mix Detox Tea with Tummy Love or fulvic humic acid? Yeah, you can mix them all together. Just don't overdo it. I would rather see if you are going to mix Tummy Love with the fulvic or the humic acid. Just do a teaspoon of each. Don't go more than that, and put it into a quart of water, all right, and then drink it. You know, and not that it's going to hurt you, but, you know, take it in slower so your body can utilize it better. This is our final question. Michelle, my abdomen has been hurting for over 5 years, but it is normal, so the hospital says. Okay, so let's get one thing really clear here, okay? Michelle, the hospital will tell you that you're normal until you need surgery. The hospital will tell you you're normal until you need to get a stronger drug. Okay, so first of all, when you go to someplace, Michelle, and I'm not trying to be a smarty here, okay? I'm not, all right? When you go to somewhere, okay, if I go to a gas station, what do they give me? Gas. Okay, if I go to the grocery store, I know I'm going to get my groceries. If I go to a hospital, am I going to get health care or am I going to get radiation, chemotherapy, x-rays, prescription drugs, and not very good food? Now, I'm not putting down on this. I'm just saying, when you go there, what are you looking for? If you're looking, Michelle, to take your life back, then go to somebody who says, I want to teach you how to take your life back. Michelle, when's the last time you walked into a hospital and the doctor says, I don't want you ever coming back here. I want you to heal. So I'm going to give you all the secrets of healing. I'm going to tell you that that eating does matter, because doctors are told that diet has nothing to do with health. They're also told that detoxing has nothing to do with health. They're also telling you that it doesn't matter how much you drink. Okay? All right. So there's the confusion. And the reality is you've been hurt. If your abdomen's been hurting for 5 years, call me up, Michelle. We'll do a consultation. Okay. And if you want, you can do a perfect day consultation with Jason or with Sage. And guess what? Your tummy's not going to hurt after a few weeks, even after a few days, probably. And that's the God's truth. Okay. Let's take a look here. Charlotte, can we bring the whole family if we come for treatment and training? We have two. One second. We have two teenage boys. Absolutely. We'll teach the whole family. So here's what would happen. You would fly in on Saturday. We would start you on Saturday afternoon or Sunday. And then what would happen is, let's say your teenage boys are going to do it too. So we would be doing 36 hours of deep tissue treatment. Okay, 30 to 36 hours. It would be best if you had two trainers with you. And that's it. And then the condo that we have overlooks the lake, overlooks the vineyards, and it's right with the clinic. And it will sleep 6, so you have no problem. So there's, we've got 3 bedrooms, all right, in the condo, and it has everything. It has all the energy medicine equipment you'd ever want. So while we're working on you and pulling all the scar tissue apart and the calcium and the crystallization, and we're working with you emotionally and changing your diet, this is going to help you to relieve a lot of the inflammation that tenderness that you get when we're teaching you all of this, because we're doing a lot of body work. And you got to understand that in every knot, you've been naughty and you've buried some emotional belief in there from the time you were a little child. And understand something. If your life is a mess, that means you've got to go back when you were a little child and rewrite your story and let everybody off the hook, including yourself, and let love in. But the reality is yes, bring the whole family. And I will tell you, I will be here. You get to see me every day, about a half an hour. I like to start with you, talk about emotional stuff, talk about how and show how physical things are actually truly emotional things, and that the visible was actually created by the invisible. And we're going to train you everything that you need to know to go home and just rock your world. And your 2 teenagers, wait till they get what they're going to get and walk away with what they're going to walk away with. People don't start to wake up until they're 50 years old. Go figure, right? Well, wouldn't that be something if they were waking up when they were 15 years old? And even if they wanted to stay asleep a little longer, who cares? They'll never forget being here. And they will never forget their mother and father for taking them on the most amazing, life-changing, life-saving adventure of their life. End of story. My mom is Angel. My mom is 81. She's a diabetic and has tremor. Her hands tremor very bad, and she cannot stand for more than 5 minutes due to body tremors. Any advice? I'm going to tell you right now that it is a nutritional thing. It's an acidic thing, inflammation on the nervous system. But I'm going to tell you right now, call me in the office here. Get her a pair of, they're called Vox insoles and Vox socks. We have them here. We don't have them up online, but we have them here. And I'm going to tell you something. You can go, if you want to call, I'll show you where to go, where there's a lady with Parkinson's, and there's a few of them, men and ladies that have had it, and they're shaking. And as soon as they go and they put the socks on, or they step onto these insoles, it stops. I know it sounds crazy. It's called Vox socks, okay? There's other things you can do, but that's a great starter. All right. And the other thing is, if she's in a nursing home, that's about all you can do. Okay, because nursing homes are not healthy places. Trust me. Bad place to send someone. All right, everyone, we made it. Thank you for joining us, everyone. And listen, if you want to join my A to Z Wellness Masterclass, I'll give it to you for free. Go to the top, click on Master, go in there, and go click on Masterclass. Go in, use the code MASTER. And then fill out the information. You'll have to put a Visa in there. I promise we won't take a penny. You got my word. And then go in there and then read okay, from page 5 to about 40. And then what I'd like you to do is watch the videos. Watch the first few videos and then go to the parts of the body that you feel you're in trouble with and watch what I have to say about what the medical system does and what we do, okay? And if you want to get your emotional life together and you want to really, truly learn about self-love, self-care, self-awareness, then go into my library and watch the 12 loving steps, the Braveheart 12 loving steps. And if you want to join the Braveheart class, all you got to do is click on the Braveheart at the top. And then I'll give you a little secret. Put in Braveheart free. And then start doing that. That's about a 33-day course. But you can do it at your own leisure. And then find out how the world really ticks. And how your mind really ticks. And how when you decide to change your personality, you'll change your reality. And it's not your personality. Because you've got dysfunctional beliefs that mommy, daddy, religion, and maybe even the systems, oh yes, all the systems have given you. And when you start mastering your mind, and every prominent thought in your mind was created and dipped in love, self-love by you, you will then own your day. You will then own your life. Okay? All right. So listen, when you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe below and make sure you click on the bell to enable notifications so you never miss a show. And just know that all your questions are time-stamped. So in every Q&A, we timestamp all the questions, and we're going back and we're going to timestamp all the shows so that you'll know what we talked about in every show and in every interview I've ever had with anyone. Okay? You can also get email notifications by going to www.docofdetoxshow.com and clicking on the schedule and entering your email at the bottom of the page. Okay? So remember something. Let's really give this a shot to honor, respect, protect, and forgive ourselves totally for everything we've ever done and everything everybody else has ever done. Okay? Forgive yourself first and foremost. And then see how your day goes. Put a slight smile on. Get connected to your breath. Put your shoulders back. Put your chin up. And then go. 3, 2, 1, I got this. Have a beautiful day. God bless. If you're looking for life-saving and life-changing information, well, you've come to the right place. Don't forget to click and subscribe. Stay connected.